Oh, I should send a direct message to my one friend, just in case, like, the Facebook doesn't, like, update him. Um, give me Riften and Maximilian porn. God damn it. It's for a webtoon. My friend and I read the same one, and she's in love with the pairing, and she wants me to draw porn for it. Just like, maybe. I'll think about it. Possibly. Excuse me.
Oh, bless you.
Thanks.
Oh my god, he did show up. Ah!
One!
Hey, sorry, work on a...
It's okay, because you're here now.
And we didn't even start yet. We were just about to.
I made your custom avatar, though. Did you see it?
I think so, yeah.
I even used that little...
Yeah.
I even used that little pose you wanted for your other one.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I thought you'd start like an hour ago, maybe?
No, we were waiting for you. Because we're
Oh,
going together.
I'm sorry.
We have to go together.
Yeah, I figured you started already, so I'd just come in kind of in the middle or something.
Because we're gonna go. You're gonna come with us, or we're gonna just meet at the entrance or some shit.
Okay.
Give me like 2 seconds to turn on the iPad capture.
Okay, and then I'll start.
Yeah. Because I have that art I sent you from before that I want to ink and maybe color and all that. Did you think it was cute?
Hmm?
You don't remember what picture I sent you, did you?
Which one of the many babies?
The pencil sketch I sent you over my lunch break, which I did instead of eating. Partially because I forgot to bring food.
I'm certain I saw it, and I'm certain I forgot about it because my brain is bad. Oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, no, I remember this. Okay.
iPad. Properties. Do the thing. There we go. Thank you. God damn it.
Alright, if everyone's ready and on, you're all on, roll 20.
I are.
Get started.
Yeah. By the way, Juan, did you get my message? You're a Virgo now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. September 9th?
Yep. Basically,
Yep.
in game when you were revived. Give or take a week or two, because we need to have some time to figure out the actual time frame. Yeah, it sounds maybe about right.
Yeah.
Fuck it. It's right.
Yeah, it's right. We'll just say it's right.
I mean, we're kind of jumping all over the place.
Part of your semester was in like the last week of all. So yeah, that makes sense. Fits.
I mean, we're kind of like all over the place because we also celebrated Hazel's birthday, but canonically his birthday is in May. But it's May here, but not like in game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we couldn't miss his actual birthday.
I mean, sure you didn't want to do that.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Last
time on the Adventuring University, our adventurers had gone and saw that Pluto had returned to his classes, still not fully healed and with a few extra stars added to him from his battle in the school when he was ambushed. Our players met up with Jihn once again, who has been revived from his demise, his very untimely demise, and now has a new companion, a new ghostly companion floating around him named Courtney.
She's a bitch.
Uh, our party found themselves tracking down a lead by Pluto, who sent them to go check out Lockhart's Carnival, which is a carnival, happens to be a circus that moves around from town to town, managed by a William Lockhart, a red tiefling who seems to have a proficiency for fire and flying swords. We met up with Lirael's brother, meeting him for the first time, met as well as meeting the members of his party, including Alara, the girl that Riley is seeing.
Pretty drow lady.
Drake, who is a dragonborn who stuffed his face and also is terrified of Callus.
Hey, she's his favorite.
Terrified of Callus.
He grew up in her conclave, so he's her favorite.
And finally, another new character, Marianne. A pair of conjoined half-elf twins with a sort of opposing color scheme and also opposing attitudes.
Checks out.
Our players got to see quite a show with William Lockhart's circus, as well as discuss with Lockhart the possibility of him captaining a ship for them, as he was once a privateer in a past life. However, he has solemnly refused to be a captain on the seas for reasons which our players have yet to learn. However, he does recommend and point the players towards some dock members that they can meet up with, discuss with, and get the ball rolling in that direction. Since the Lockhart Circus will only be in a week, some of our players have decided that they would come back to the circus and go on a date or two. Yeah.
Well, hopefully the other one turns into a date, and Jihn doesn't get double bitch slapped.
We'll see.
You can do
Entirely depends on your roles. Remember, you're not
You're-
convincing one person, you're convincing two people.
You're a
So have fun with that one.
charisma-based class. You can do it.
Exactly.
You're charisma-based. You can do it. I mean, fucking Riley rolled absolutely fucking awful with Alara, but she's still indoor.
I mean, less into her. It is right now. But anyway.
What, really? Oh, that's so disappointing.
Yup.
Even after she won that big boar?
Yes. The boar
Wow.
was good, was nice, and the points towards her.
Harsh.
There's a lot of other negatives. Anyway,
Damn.
our players
Jihn gonna be
now.
heartbroken.
We won't tell him until the end.
We'll start with Lirael. Lirael, you find yourself in Hazel's room as you usually are in.
I'm rooting through his closet.
He is also going through his clothes and going, so, this circus thing, what's it about?
Fun. That's literally all it's about, is fun. Having fun.
Is there cake?
There's funnel cake.
Alright, I'm in.
Which is basically
Well, I
just...
needed.
It's basically fried dough covered in powdered sugar. And then at the word sugar, fucking Novus pops their head out like, what? Hello? Who said sugar?
So, you're bringing me along too, right?
Yes, Novus, you can come back to the circus with us. Just, pace yourself up. Hold on. All I ask is you pace yourself, please.
No promises.
I guess that's fair. Well, I guess I could bring a Ziploc bag in case you get sick. Do you get sick from eating too much?
I did. I mean, everyone gets sick, love. Even you.
Well, yes.
But yes, of course, I get sick. Everyone who has a stomach gets sick.
Well, maybe I'll try to help you not get sick. Put you in timeout if you start eating too much.
Don't you dare! I'll bite you.
I'll bite you back. My mouth is bigger than yours.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Well then.
She winks at Hazel.
And the two
Babe,
heading
cutting
out. Little I can do about that.
What's with
The
your
two of you
internet?
begin walking out. Yeah, my internet's just being garbage, and I don't understand why. It's never been this bad. And the two of you begin walking out. You meet in the hall Jihn, who happens to be pacing. Well, Juan, what is Jihn doing in the hall?
Yeah, I'm pacing and I'm kind of like walking back and forth, like going towards her, Lirael's, or wait, is Lirael or Hazel's room? I forgot.
It's
Hazel's.
Hazel's room.
Hazel's. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, is she there? Like, maybe I should ask. No. Would she know? Maybe. I don't. I just kind of pace back and forth, like going towards the room, then maybe changing my mind, walking away, but then coming back, but then changing my mind again, like mumbling to myself.
Is that Jihn? It is.
Ah! Oh!
Oh.
Ah! Hey!
Hi.
Ah!
Ah.
Hey! Hi!
Hi.
Hey! Oh, did you roll him with a disadvantage? Wait, why does he have a disadvantage?
That was for I was gonna make him roll perception, and Juan, you may not know this. Hazel has a certain number of unluck points that I get to roll against him when I think he's doing
Which
too
is
well.
almost double the amount of actual luck points in game, because Darius is an asshole.
Oh, God.
Do you know how many he has, Juan? He has 5. Almost double the amount of luck points I have, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yo.
It should be similar to the same amount of luck points that a player gets.
Fuck
Not
that.
almost double, you fucking psychopath.
No, this is way more fun.
For you.
Anyway, Hazel has no idea what's going on. He doesn't even notice Jihn.
Standing right in front of him. God, I
God.
love this boy so much.
Oh,
I point. Hey, look, it's Jihn.
hello, you two. Hi.
Oh, wait, where? What?
Wait, how tall is Jihn, real quick?
Like 5'8", like average.
Oh, so you're just a few inches taller than me, but slightly smaller than Hazel. Okay.
Right in front of us, dear. See? Look, it's Jihn.
Hello.
What's up?
Okay.
You
One
look
second.
nice.
Oh, thank you.
Are you going somewhere?
Something on your mind?
Maybe. So Lirael, the two girls that were, that we met at the circus last time.
Marianne?
You wouldn't. Yes, Marianne. Yeah, I remember. Yes, Marianne. You wouldn't happen to have their numbers, would you?
I think they might only have one phone. I could text my brother, not that I really want to.
Are they? Do you actually? I don't. Might sound weird, but do you know if they're going to be if they're on campus today?
Um, they might be back at the circus to perform again with. Wait, what day is it today, technically? If is it the weekend or something?
It is a Saturday.
They're
When you saw
probably
them the first time, it was Friday.
back at the circus. It is a Saturday, which would be the biggest day for circus sales. So they're probably there to help their dad out, Mr. Lockhart. You remember him, the big tiefling guy?
Oh, yes. He got us good pie. I remember this.
Yes, well, it was for the competition. Thank God you all didn't throw up.
Yeah, it didn't last until like I was okay until a few hours later, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
So they might be at the circus.
Do you want, I could, if you want, I can text my brother and ask if Marianne is at the circus today. I can't
If you-
guarantee he will actually give me an honest response back. But
Yes?
it's an avenue we could, okay. Alright, one sec. She texts Samuth asking if Marianne is at the circus today. I'll give it a few minutes. Like I said, he may not even text back.
Can't hear you at all.
Oh,
Hello, can you
King was just ridiculous.
can you hear me now?
No.
You can hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Alright, well, Lirael texted Samuth asking if the twins would be at the circus today.
Samuth texts back. Why do you want to know?
Motherfucker. Because my friend wants to see them again.
I don't see her texting this message, right?
No.
Okay, because
Not unless you're specifically trying to look at it, like look at it from.
No, I'm not. I'm just kind of daydreaming right now.
Aww.
It's like
He gave you a gross out emoji.
Oh my god, you're so immature! A simple yes and no will suffice, please and thank you. We're going anyway, so we might as well. I thought we might as well ask, so our friend doesn't waste his day looking for them at the circus if they're not going to be there.
Look, I trust my team to do what they want to do, and their Saturdays are their own. If she's at the circus, she's at the circus. I don't really know.
Oh, for God's sake. Thanks. For nothing!
You're not welcome.
I said, and then in a second test, for nothing! In all caps.
Perfect.
Well. Hopefully. He keeps his ass in his room all day. Anyway.
So I'm assuming it's no?
To be completely honest, I would hazard a yes. Mostly just because of how busy Saturdays are, and their performance is probably requested or needed for their final show thing. You know, with the big singing and everything. It can't hurt to go looking for them.
But doesn't that seem stalker-ish?
Not really. I mean, it's kind of obvious where they'll be. And it's the last day the circus is going to be here. You could just play it off as though you want to come back and win some prizes.
Yes.
So that's incorrect. This is not the last day they'll be.
I thought you said it was
Oh.
only here for a week.
Yeah,
It's the end of the week.
the start of the week for them. They got here on Friday. They're gonna be here for a week.
Okay. I'm used to fairs getting in at Monday, setting up that day, and then ending and closing out on a Sunday.
That's what our town
They
fairs
got
do.
in. They got in Thursday. They started their first day on Friday, so they could bring in the most customers. And they have, they're having a show on Saturday. They'll stay until the end of the next weekend.
Okay, well, it's the first Saturday, and they'll want to pull in tickets, so my fucking statement still stands. Damn it. Well, you could always say
okay.
that we were there yesterday for a mission, and you didn't really get a chance to look around. So yeah.
I'll go with that excuse. Yes, that is
Definitely.
the excuse I'm going for. Yes.
I mean, that was my first time to a circus, and it's Hazel's first time today.
Hazel kind of leads into you. Is he going after 2 girls?
She whispers, "They're conjoined twins.
What's that?
They share most of their body."
Weird.
Okay, so here's the thing. There's one pair of legs, right? But then at the hips, it splits into 2 torsos with 2 different girls on each side. And they've got, both have like their own set of arms, and they're both bards, and they play music and sing. So it's like 2 torsos that then slims down into 1 pair of legs. Oh god, baby! Sweet boy!
Does not understand.
Wait, was it wisdom?
Wildly
Would it be
confused and thinks you're talking about some sort of
Would it be
amalgamation.
wisdom or intelligence? I think it would be more intelligence.
You're right. It's probably intelligence. Which is worse, honestly.
Oh, come on!
But sure.
Leave my boy
We'll
alone!
do intelligence.
Oh!
Hey, dirty 20. Good for you.
Thanks, Juan.
And that's another unlock point for Hazel coming up soon.
No.
No, I'm not gonna waste it for this one. I have 5 of them. I have 4 left. I have to be very sparse with them. Can't use them all the time. I gotta use them when he's gotta try to win prizes.
You're awful! Why would you make Lirael have a bad day by proxy?
Yes.
You're just gonna make him feel really bad because she won him a prize, and then if you make him not win one for her, it's just gonna make him sad, and then I'm gonna be upset because you made my boy sad.
Yes.
I know where you live.
That's fine. But yeah, I think I get it now.
Yeah, I mean,
Never met a conjoined twin.
It was
This would
my
be a new
first time.
experience.
Yes, it was my first time meeting one too.
All right, so you coming with us, Jihn?
Yeah, I get. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Just to get there because I don't remember how to get to the circus.
You can hang out with us if you want until you find them.
No, it's okay. I wouldn't want to be a
Jihn.
third wheel.
Jihn, 3 pairs of eyes is better than 1 pair. We can help you spot them.
Don't you mean 4?
What? No, there's.
I would assume your fairy friend is coming too.
Oh yes. Well, she's going to be highly distracted by sweets, so.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, I don't like you, dead guy. And then she pops back in the bag.
She
The
says
feeling isn't mutual.
you can't understand her. She only speaks Sylvan.
I can just assume that she's saying something mean to me. I just assume that.
She doesn't
at
like
this
the
point.
way you smell.
I put cologne on.
It's different for fairies, I think. It's not
If
about
anything, if anything, the cologne makes him smell.
what?
You broke up.
If anything, the cologne makes him smell.
Oh, Novus. Wait.
Like a sweaty gym sock.
Oh my god. You're so mean. Why are you so mean? She can't help it, but she just starts laughing.
Ha 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 ha.
Oh, stop you. It's fine. You're fine. Everything's fine.
I don't know what's funny, but okay.
It's... Don't worry about it, darling. Just some fairy mischief.
Alright.
God, I adore you so much. Alright.
Alright. Is there any prep that you guys needed to do, or are you guys ready to go?
He's got his cologne on. He's good.
I sent you a message on Discord, Darius. Before
I know.
arriving.
I saw.
Okay.
Where are you hiding them?
I have a small pack behind me. I'm carrying a small pack.
He's got a fanny pack.
Behind me, not like a dad. No, never that.
Reverse fanny
Never
pack.
that.
It's a bum pack.
Not in this lifetime. Maybe the next.
Maybe in your past life.
IRL, actually, I did have a fanny pack a long time. Like when I was younger, I did wear it.
Yo,
Like,
they're coming back
like
into
Disney and
style.
whatnot.
I saw
please
holographic fanny packs at the clothing store. I was like, what?
Oh God.
Lirael's
Someone
just...
said fashion was cyclical, so why not?
Yeah, Lirael's just wearing her usual crossbody bag. But I don't know if Hazel... Well, Hazel just has deep pockets, apparently.
The deepest pockets. The deepest pockets. Some might say it might even be infinite.
So if I stick my hand in his pocket, I'm just gonna, like, go to my fucking shoulder or some shit?
Your shoulder, you'll be lost in there forever. You'll fall into his pocket. He's got a gravitational force.
I'm going to now be a pocket gremlin. Excuse me. I'm gonna climb into his pocket. What have you done? Okay. I don't have any prep work. Everything I probably needed was put in my bag. I do still have a first aid kit, by the way. Just in fucking case. I don't think that actually ever came out of her bag.
You guys head towards the circus.
Yee!
It's a bit of a train you take the train off of the island and then head towards the circus. That is about a 30-minute walk away. When you get there, it's still kind of early, so it's not too packed. But you can see like the early comers are getting in there and getting ready to go check out some of the attractions and some of the other stuff. They actually have set up a few rides already, including a vintage merry-go-round.
Aww.
Real live ponies and horses, and you see amongst those ponies and horses a unicorn, which is insane. You see that there is a hall of wax, wax figures. There is a small pawn shop for shopping and goods. There is as well a fortune teller, a strong woman show. There's a tent for the Aminals. There's also a tent for what looks to be the big top itself, as well as a few games that are scattered around and some food stalls and whatever. All of you give me perception really quick.
I apologize in advance.
I'll roll.
never
Hazel.
mind.
Man, I wish I could give you an unluck point.
Go to hell.
Oh, he didn't do bad.
You can do the worst, and I'm not going to spend a point on it. Hazel doesn't notice this. Jihn does notice this, and so does Lirael. Actually, no, I'll say Hazel does because he's not trying to hide. As you walk in, you also see, in front of you guys, looking around for something. It seems is a furball with blonde hair, a white button up, and a cane. It is Pluto.
Oh.
Standing looking around for something.
Oh, it's Professor Pluto. I wave. And call out to him.
His back is turned to you.
Oh, I do also call out.
Okay. Pluto turns to you and it's just, oh, my lovely student. You walk over.
Afternoon, PP.
Afternoon, Jim.
Lirael snorts. She just goes.
What? That's what Zog told me to call him.
Really? Wow.
You just threw Professor Zog under the bus. Congrats.
Remind me.
I look at them confused. I'm like, what's wrong? I thought.
Remind me to banish him to another dimension for a little while.
Lirael salutes. Will do, Professor.
What brings you students here? Are you just here to check out a show?
Well, Jihn's here to check out something.
Oh, I put my hand to her mouth like, yeah. We were here the other day, and technically, I guess this would be my first time in a circus, so I figured I'd come back, and these two said they'd come with me. Yeah. No other ulterior motives whatsoever. Yep.
Do that again, and I will bite you.
Give me deception.
Can I roll deception as well? It seems like he's very shy about this sort of thing.
No.
Nope. I'm bad at this. Jihn's not.
Jesus Christ.
No matter how bad of
warn
an
you
acting.
Pluto has a 20 in his passive insight. And you scored a 23. That's gross. He's just like, all right.
I pull Jihn's hand from my face. I go, if you do that again, I will bite you.
I grab Hazel's hand and put it to her mouth.
I should just give him a fucking dirty look.
Hazel absolutely just lets it happen.
This fucking sunshine boy, I love him so much. You know what? Fuck it. She grabs his hand and just fucking does a light little bite just right on top of his hand. Nom.
Hey, not in public. Pulls you in.
She immediately spits out his hand and goes, well.
Pulls you in, gives you some head pats. Oh, wrapping his tail around you. Head pat.
I don't know what's redder, her hair or her face.
So Professor, what are you doing here today?
Well, I know the ringmaster of this circus, and I thought I'd pay him a visit.
Oh, are you coming to pay your tab?
Yes, coming to pay my tab. Yes, I am going to go see him, and maybe enjoy the festivities myself. I might see you guys around.
Tell Mr. Lockhart I said hello. And then if he really does need to talk, because it seems like he does, he seems to have a lot of baggage, so to speak, that I'm always free to talk. And I always have good berries. Well, yes, he said something about being very unwilling for a particular reason to not be our captain for whichever ship we manage to uh, acquire.
Yes, that. You need not worry yourself about
He seemed. I couldn't really get a good read on him, but it didn't seem like a good thing. Very
it.
mysterious.
It isn't, and though I thought maybe his mind would have changed by now, I see that I had miscalculated.
Well, you never know.
Though, maybe my talks with him will change his mind.
I was about to say, you never know what meeting an old friend could do for your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good luck, Professor Pluto. It's Hazel's first time at the circus, so we're gonna go just do stuff. You know?
Have a wonderful time, you three.
Does he start walking away?
Yep.
As he's about to start walking away, I drape my arms over his shoulder and walk right next to him. Actually, Professor,
You're really reaching up high, by the way. Pluto's like 6 something.
No,
Yeah,
he is 7'3".
Oh yeah, he's just slightly shorter than Riley. Just wrap
Yeah,
his,
so it's gonna
you
it's,
wrap
it's
your
gonna
hand
look
Very
around his
tall.
waist?
Drape your hands over him. No,
You
No.
wrap your arm around his
one arm
waist.
on his shoulder, but it looks like a little kid like trying to reach for their dad or something. Like that awkward like little kid reaching up to their dad's shoulder.
Oh my god, can I cast levitate on you?
Actually, Professor, and like it's an awkward like he's trying to reach his shoulder, like on like his right shoulder. He's standing on his left, like he's really reaching there. It's like he's almost missed it. But Professor, I heard that you know Mary Ann.
I do indeed. I haven't seen those kids in a while.
Even though they're in the
Oh,
school?
what?
Yes, I know they're in the school, and I've seen them in the halls, but it's I haven't gotten the chance to see them this year. I saw them last year for some of their classes, but
So you know my
I
asshole
haven't really
brother.
gotten a chance to see them this year.
Oh, they don't live on campus or anything, or do they?
They do. It's just that their paths don't often intersect.
Oh, okay.
So, Professor, I take it that... Oh, never mind. Go ahead, Jin.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to
It
say,
would
I
be nice
take...
to see them, but
I was going to say, I guess that means you know my jerk of a brother.
yes, he's in the sorcery class, isn't he? Been taking up Callus's sorcery role since she's had to deal with some other classes now, and yes, your brother is quite a character.
That's one way of putting it, I'm sure. I hope you don't have to meet him anytime soon, by the way. And she pokes Hazel in the side. Right in the ribs.
He pokes you in the cheek a little, and let me just actually make a athletics check real quick.
What? Athletics? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He pokes you in the cheek, you lose balance for a sec, but you catch yourself.
We rolled the exact same fucking roll. He has a +1, I have a -1. Oh yes, I forgot he's much stronger than I am. She goes. She makes a chomping motion at his finger.
And it's sort of like wiggles it in front of you like it's a fish dangling on a hook. Pluto looks down at Jin. Yes, I do know Marianne. We haven't seen each other. since about last year for classes. I hope to see her here at some point. I think I might. Uh,
So it sounded like you knew them like as they were growing up, right?
not entirely. I was only with the circus for a few years, about 4 years. So I only got to see them. I got to see them during their younger years.
Oh, like how young are we talking here?
When I met them, let me remember. When I met them, I was 30, and they were, I think they were about 8 years old.
How old are they
No,
now?
7. They were 7 when I met them.
Just curious, like how old are they now?
I think they should be 22.
Hmm. Okay. So you hadn't seen them for about 10 years at some point.
We'd seen each other, back and forth. Um, and, we'd seen each other every once in a while, every few years. And then when I finally came to the school and they joined the school as freshmen, I was actually teaching one of their classes. So I got to see them actually a lot during their freshman year and a little bit during their junior year. I suspect I probably won't see much of them in their senior year, which is a shame. But yeah, they are some of my favorite students. Mary is very excitable uh, and maybe doesn't learn very well, but she's at least enthusiastic about the learning. Anne, however, is probably one of my better students, I'll argue. She is actually brilliant. She can really hold a conversation and does very well if only she wasn't so introverted.
Like what kind of classes were they like? I guess magic, of course, but like what kind of classes were they taking?
I believe they were both taking the Bard class, which made sense to me. But Anne wanted to learn a few. Anne apparently got married to help her pop into wizard classes once in a while. So I ended up finding them in my class every so often.
What about druidic magic?
I don't think they had an interest in druid magic.
Really? Because when we met them yesterday, they did a little druid magic. Ah,
What
blah.
did what did they do?
They they I take out the sunflower that they gave me when I last met them.
Oh,
They made this sunflower grow from a
oh,
seed.
that's a cantrip. I know that. And then she puts her hands up and makes it rain flower petals. It's druidcraft.
Yes, druidcraft. If I might. He grabs something from his bag and concentrates on it, and when he opens his hand, he makes a bunch of tools.
Well, that's a
Yes,
crypto. Did she take
druidcraft.
magic initiate into druid?
No, this is a spell I actually learned from my wife. Um,
Oh,
she came
Persephone.
to the circus. Yes, she came to the circus as well, and she taught both I and I believe those sisters this very simple spell. It made for something pretty showy and very beautiful.
I make it smell like roses.
They never stayed learning druidic magic, or
No, they weren't that as interested in druidic magic. They wanted to follow their father's spellcraft, which was bardic magic.
That
yeah,
checks
I
out.
see that. What was that, Kellen?
I said that checks out.
Yeah,
Lirael is now
yeah.
checking the weather for the day, by the way.
uh, clear skies.
Lovely.
Pretty bright and sunny day.
Yeah, you just
Might
see this
rain later.
giant orb of light emanating from her hand, because it just takes the form of whatever it's going to be in an orb. She's off in her own world. Look, it's going to be a
Yeah.
beautiful day.
Hazel's over there.
Ooh, pretty. So, Professor, kind of moving towards a little more serious topic. Have there been any updates regarding the attack on the school?
The attack on the school itself. Not. Has Zog filled you in on the recent goings on with the Feather and Bird Company? I mean, Feather and Sword Company.
What? Who? What?
Captain
Um,
Featherbeard?
This might have been a discussion with the before death Jihn.
It should be.
So I'm a little kind of trying to catch up on a lot of things.
Okay. I had discovered recently that there is the police are trying to link the Feather and Sword Company to the crimes that happened at the school. However, they haven't had much luck. Unfortunately, they keep slipping them, and they're being protected politically by a sponsor known as Nathan Navarez. This Nathan character seems to be shady in his own right, possibly selling cursed artifacts. And it seems that the Feather and Sword Company also happens to be procuring the cursed artifacts with which Nathan is selling. It is possible that the drug Wraith comes from one of the cursed artifacts that they found.
Certainly looks like it could come from something cursed. She glances over at his scars. Oh.
Yeah, he kind of self-consciously starts putting his hand over his scars.
She's not doing it to be to make him self-conscious. She's just.
It doesn't matter. You saying that, doing that definitely makes him self-conscious. Yes. It seems it has some very terrible lingering effects on those who use it. Powerful effects for those who use it properly, but the aftermath is always the worst.
So how does talking to a ringmaster get us Navarez or the company?
He was a privateer.
Navarez is a privateer, and he's currently, and we believe that he's currently on an expedition to look for a cursed artifact near here. He's, gathering some people so that he can go on his expedition currently right now. The idea is, if we can get Captain Lockhart on board, he's an ex-captain. He may be able to charter a ship for you, and if you guys can get a ship and a small crew gathered together, you may be able to follow this Captain Featherbeard while he goes to get his cursed relic and catch him in the act.
There's probably documentation somewhere on his ship that would link him to Navarra.
That is the hope. It was just one of the ideas I had. Another was that your team could try getting hired by this Captain Featherbeard and just getting directly onto his ship. It'd be easier to stealth around that, but I thought it might be more difficult with a team as large as yours. But that is also an avenue you guys can do.
Hmm. Yes, well, I guess our best bet right now would be just be to speak again to Lockhart at some point. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's wandering around here. He's kind of hard to
Yeah.
miss.
He's in the big top now. I've already appointed a bit of a meeting. We'll be discussing some things about possibly getting him on board. Um, excuse the pun.
Haha.
Do you want one of us to join you? I mean, we're going to be the ones going in, so
I don't believe that'll be necessary. Please, this is your day off. Go enjoy yourselves at the carnival. Have a good time.
One more question, Professor Pluto.
Of course.
Lockhart told us your name, so why do you go by Professor Pluto?
Pluto has been my pen name, my performance name, and the name I've taken for 15 years now. It's just who I've kind of become.
What do you prefer us to call you?
Just call me your Professor Pluto.
Understood.
Thank you. And if you could not mention my name to the other class members, I don't want to have them calling me by my real name.
I will pass a
something like
message
that.
to the rest of the group not to call you by that name, since he did
Hazel kind of leans
specifically.
into you. Hazel kind of leads into you. Hey, what's his real name? He has a different name than Pluto? I thought his name was just Pluto.
I thought so too until we came here. I'll tell you later. She gets in like real close so that nobody else can hear. I'll tell you later. It's fine. But yes, Mr. Lockhart did specifically and repeatedly refer to you by your first name.
Oh, they tend to do that around here.
I thought it was quite endearing.
Yes, yes.
He seems so fond of you.
And I am fond of them. They are, in a way, my second family.
That's lovely.
so
Well,
no, go ahead. No.
go ahead.
You're gonna say something?
No. Just say what you're gonna say, because literally I was gonna have say that he was moving on, but no.
Real quick, one other last question. So what kind of things do Marianne like?
Give me deception.
Just curious.
Give me deception. Because Pluto's gonna be actively inciting that one.
Oh. Oh darn.
Oh darn.
You had to push
your
your
darn
luck.
indeed. That's a +8 to his insight. You would never. I didn't even really need to roll.
Yeah.
What's this new interest you have in Marianne? You've been talking about her a lot.
Oh, we just met yesterday, and I'm interested in meeting new people. I mean, I've forgotten a lot of people, so I figured meeting new people might offset it.
Somehow I don't believe you. Young people nowadays.
What's that supposed to mean?
It's fine. Just watch out with them, okay?
Young people nowadays.
What's that supposed to mean?
Means young people nowadays asking questions instead of just going for it.
Oh,
That seems like what a lot of young people might be doing.
Nowadays, back in my day, that just wasn't an option.
Novus, do you want to say hello since you can actually speak to him? You don't really get to talk to many people.
Hmm.
I'm sure Professor Pluto
Doesn't,
understands you.
doesn't smells like it smells kind of like death, but not the right kind of death.
Well, what does that mean?
Like he's not dead, but he uses dead.
Oh, probably because this is all still in Sylvan. Professor Pluto, you were school of necromancy, weren't you?
Correct. Necromancy and grave clergy.
Well, there you go, Novus. That's why.
Ah, is that a Betsy?
It is.
Novus is kind of big furball.
It's okay. He's not going to hurt you. Yes, we recovered her from one of our missions to in when we were, following leads for Wraith. She was in a jar in a basement.
Well, that is quite unfortunate.
And
I hope they didn't harm you.
What did they do to
Yeah.
you, by the way, Novus? Did they just skulk at you?
They tried to make me cast wishes for them because they thought I can grant them wishes.
Well, that's just silly.
Yeah, the things people will do for wishes.
Hopefully they didn't hurt you.
No, I'm fine.
Huh.
They were
Well,
kind of awkward with how they tried to get into that wishes for them.
I don't think I want to know. Do you want a good berry?
Yes, always.
I hand her. I pull out a candied good berry. I give it to her.
She snatches it from you and hides in the bag.
Novus, I wasn't going to eat it myself.
You
don't have
It
to
doesn't
snatch.
matter. It doesn't matter. She snatches it from you and hides the bag to eat
Well then.
it.
She seems to have taken a liking to the school and myself, I suppose.
Well, that's good at least.
Yes, I quite enjoy her presence.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That was quite rude of us to continue speaking in another language. I'm so sorry.
As they were talking in Sylvan, I started looking around to see if I could find if Marianne was nearby.
Give me perception. Nope.
So, Jihn, did you want to look around with us?
No. I think I'll be fine walking around while you guys go on your date. So I don't want to be a third wheel or fourth wheel in this case, since you have the fairy in the bag.
Well, I mean, Novus is just here for food. Well, I guess I'm also kind of here for the food.
If I see
I
Marianne, I can point her to you. I can point them to you. If you're staying at any specific stands or anything like that.
What's in the area again? It's the let's say what's in the immediate area.
Pony show, including a unicorn, an old vintage carousel, some games, some food, a house of wax, the big top.
I might just be hanging out in the games for a bit, and then I'll be around the games, I guess, just looking around.
Okay. If I see them, I'll send them that way. Sound good?
That would be wonderful. Thank you, PP. I mean, Professor.
If you see my brother, tell him to shove it.
Yes.
You cut out.
You cut out there, man.
Yes, I certainly will.
Actually, maybe don't. I don't want him to know I'm here. Actually, if you do see him and you see me, warn me. And she like half hides behind Hazel, looking around suspiciously.
Suspicious. That's all. I'll be off then.
Have a good chat.
Thank you. Where do you guys head next?
Well, I'm going to. Well, Lirael and Hazel, where are you guys going?
Lirael starts vibrating excitedly and says she wants to go try to pet the unicorn.
Yeah, I was actually planning to head to the unicorn too before I head to the games.
Do you want to come pet the unicorn with us? It's not every day you see one.
Yeah, sure. I don't remember meeting a unicorn before, so
Well, it's...
first time for everything.
I mean, it's probably your first time regardless. They're incredibly rare.
Yeah, so why not?
Excellent.
Okay, you make your way over to the stables where there are unicorns, and
I thought you said it was a unicorn.
there was a unicorn, some ponies, and some horses that you can
I want
eat
to also
apples
pet the
and
ponies.
get some pets.
I want to feed the ponies.
You want to pet the ponies?
Yeah.
While you're there, though, you also see, caring for them is a water genasi. He's big and tall.
Oh.
Big, strong man. He looks to you. Hello there. How are you?
Hello.
Have you come to pet the ponies?
Yes. And, if it's possible to maybe pet the unicorn?
She's not really up for it today. She's, been a bit, antsy
Oh no.
for some reason.
What could possibly make a unicorn antsy?
She might be sensing, not sure, might be sensing some sort of evil or something like that. Some creatures around here. Can't, stop people from coming into the carnival, but if someone has an evil alignment, she will freak out.
What does she like to eat? Can I at least attempt to feed her something?
Yes, I have some special golden apples prepared for her.
May
I
I?
can.
I don't have to go into the pen. I can at
Like
least...
I said, she's a bit frantic. She might bite you. And I would really not like to have to get sued for another person getting bitten by a unicorn.
Can I at least, like, leave
And
it
no,
on?
getting bitten by a unicorn does not give you power, no matter what anyone says.
Why would getting bitten by a unicorn give you powers? That just sounds silly.
So many people don't know anything about unicorns.
Can I at least hold it by the gate, see if she wants it? I don't think I'm evil aligned.
Give me persuasion.
Okay.
22.
You're an elf. Elves have some kind of sylvan connection to the wilds and the forest and the such and such. Maybe you will be good for her.
Oh.
Fine. I let you at least hold out the golden apple.
I call out...
He goes into a bag, like this what looks to be like a ragged sack, and he pulls out a golden apple, hands it to you, and kind of guides your hand
Hold
to.
on, one sec. I call Novus out. I'm like, Novus, come here.
As he sees the fairy, he just goes, "Ah, a little fairy too. All this bodes well."
Look, have you ever seen a unicorn before?
Yes, only once in the. Yes, back at home.
Does she look sad to you?
She looks upset about something, but can't really tell what it is.
Do unicorns understand language?
What was that, Callie?
I said, do
You were
unicorns...
breaking up on mine.
Sorry. Do unicorns understand language?
I know they don't. I think they do speak. I think they speak Sylvan.
Oh, I can give it a shot.
They're like telepathic creatures, though. They don't talk through their mouths.
Well, obviously if they're a unicorn, but if they can hear it, I'm sure they can understand it.
Of course.
Once I lean over the gate, I'll speak to it and so I'm like, come here, darling. Come and
Give
see
me animal handling.
Animal handling. I'm gonna use a luck point. Yeah! How's a nat 20, baby?
Oh no, you're fine. The unicorn instantaneously gets distracted from its frustration, comes over to you, takes the apple out of your hand and eats it up, and then starts putting its face against yours and sort of rubbing it.
I stroke the unicorn and I tell her she's wonderful. I'm so sorry you're frustrated.
Thank you, little lady. It is nice to see someone who's nice to the unicorn.
Why are you so upset?
I sense some evil.
Is it close?
And it's somewhere in the circus, but I can't pinpoint it.
I'm standing right next there, so I'm just looking at it. Just so you know, Darius.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's you.
I'm hoping
You can certainly smell the undead, but she doesn't smell evil on you. There's a difference.
Yes, I know.
She's seen, and wait for it, good aligned undead.
Yeah, I know. I just want to say, I'm just there. I'm just looking, trying to act innocent and non-threatening.
Do you mind if,
Is your friend okay?
He
looks like he's about to piss himself.
He's just very nervous. He doesn't want to potentially upset you. But do you mind if my, significant other comes and pets you a bit?
A demon.
He's not bad. He's very sweet.
Okay. I'll trust in you.
Hazel!
Hazel comes over. Hi there. How's it going? I'm gonna have, because you rolled a nat 20, I'm gonna say that I will not be allowed to give him any sort of disadvantage for this, but he will roll animal handling, which is a +0.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't do bad.
He is able to also pet the unicorn and begins nuzzling, and it begins nuzzling into him.
I lay my head on his shoulder and continue to pet the unicorn. I am having a great time. Jihn, do you want to get in on this?
I look at the unicorn. Does it seem like it will trample me if I do anything?
You don't sense any. You don't sense any evil from that undead, do you?
Actually, give me insight.
Me?
No,
me.
Jihn.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, this unicorn's fine. It truly could not care less if you were undead. It's seen other undead creatures that were, and it's more concerned with whatever is evil in the carnival.
Dun dun.
One second.
That is a very poor animal handling check. You try to like give it some scratches, but you're like scratching it, but like your fingernails are sharp, and
So plus
because
6,
you
so
haven't
14.
cut them in a while.
So 14.
and
14.
14.
14? 14. Your fingernails are still like longish, but they're not that bad. They can be dealt with. And you're like scratching it, and you're like giving pets, but not in the best way. You're petting it like you would a dog, but it's not a dog, it's a horse.
Can I
Again,
can I take his hand
It's still a good attempt, is what I'm saying.
Can I take
It's not-
his hand
it's not
and show
terrible.
him how to do it?
yeah, with their nat 20, I mean, come on.
The nat 20 was mostly to help Hazel.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, come
Because
on.
Hazel gets disadvantage on everything.
No, not everything.
When his DM decides it, yes.
Within a certain amount.
So, I noticed you were talking to the unicorn. What was it saying?
She senses something evil, very evil, in this circus somewhere. It's not close anymore, but it's still evil, and she can sense it.
Can it tell which general direction?
So, how long ago did you sense it that it was nearby?
It was coming in with some of the passerbys. It
Just
smelled awful.
did it linger?
Maybe a moment ago.
Did it linger for a bit?
Yes, for a small time before leaving.
She whispers to Jihn, "Are we absolutely certain that was Professor Pluto?"
Man. Wait, actually, I wouldn't know this. Wait, never mind.
You wouldn't know about the
Yeah.
not Pluto.
No, I'm pretty sure we
well-
would have filled him in on some of the...
You haven't.
No one's briefed him on not Pluto. He's not aware.
Can I give him a real fast rundown of the shapeshifter?
You can brain noodle to him.
Alright, I'm gonna brain noodle to him about the shapeshifter and how it can... And when I actually spoke to Pluto, I'm gonna also fill him in on the hypothesis that it can read your memories and thoughts.
Oh.
And it is evil.
Oh.
Hmm?
Wait, he was going to meet with Lockhart.
Yes, it sounded like he was going to meet him one-on-one.
How long ago was this? It
She
was
said
a
it was-
couple of minutes, right?
About a minute ago.
I grasped.
What was it? What was the name of the stable hand?
We didn't get his name.
You're not.
You didn't ask. I turned to the water genasi guy. Excuse me. Where can I find Mr. Lockhart?
He said, well, Pluto said that he would be in the big top.
Would Lockhart be there now, or would he be somewhere else in the circus?
Look, I believe. My Russian is slipping. I believe Lockhart should be in the circus right now. He said he had someone to meet and would be unveiling him to the rest of us.
So he would be doing what?
Unveiling. I think it's called unveiling, right? Is that the right word? Unveiling?
He's showing something.
Revealing. showing, whatever you.
Shit. Lirael, just to be safe, I think you're gonna have to cut your date short, and let's go double check, make sure that no one's dead.
Give me 1 second.
Bring him along, actually, just in case.
I wasn't going to leave Hazel, but, excuse me, Miss Unicorn, one last question. If it's possible, can you feel in what direction it's heading? It wouldn't happen to be heading closer to the big top, would it?
I can't feel it from this distance. It's too far. I just know it's within the circus.
Okay. I really appreciate the information. And to be able to pat you just a little bit.
I like that you pat me.
She gives it. She puts her forehead against it and gives it a couple more slow, strokes along its face.
I really hope you feel better.
I hope so too.
Make sure he's not skipping
Alright.
you on apples.
Oh, he knows. He speaks my language.
Oh, he speaks
Or
Sylvan.
one of my languages.
Huh.
He doesn't speak Sylvan.
does
but
he
he does
speak
speak one of the languages.
Does he speak
does.
Celestial?
Yes.
That was going to be my other guess if it didn't speak Sylvan, because I do speak Sylvan and Celestial and Infernal.
You know.
Not Elvish?
Well, obviously. My mother was an elf.
No Elven. This half elf doesn't know. Real shame.
Totally.
Okay,
I even know
so
Druidic now.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. So let's head towards the big top and hope that no one's dead.
Unfortunately, we'd have to figure out where Lockhart's private room is, because he was supposed to speak with Pluto. Jihn, you wouldn't... What class are you, by the way? I know you're a warlock, but you wear heavy armor, so...
I'm a warlock?
I mean, well, I've seen you cast Eldritch Blast before.
I guess I'm a warlock?
I was just curious because you also wear heavy armor. I was wondering if you were perhaps a more martial class as well.
I swing a big sword around, so I might be.
Big sword.
Yeah, this one. And then I summon my sword.
Ah, Hexblade.
Yep.
Gotcha. You don't happen to know a spell called Detect Good and Evil, do you?
Let me bring up my spells. Let me see. I have something good and evil. Oh, it's only for 30 feet.
I mean, it's better than nothing. Once we get into the big top, it might help us. How long does it last?
10 minutes.
I mean, that's a good bit of time. What is that, a first level?
Yeah.
Got a few spell slots for that, right?
No.
Oh, yeah,
no, it's just a
Paladin.
warlock paladin combo.
Oof.
No.
And warlocks have garbage spell slots.
Yeah, don't remind me.
Yeah. No, so
well, save it for when we get to the big top. We might need it to find this thing. Okay? It's going to be very helpful. The most I have is detect magic.
what's the range on that?
Probably 30 feet?
Okay. Let's rush to the big top, see if we notice anything on the way. And hope for the best at this point.
Okay.
He's only there for a few minutes. We only parted a few minutes ago.
I'm gonna ask you guys to give me 2 minutes. I'm gonna take a 2-minute break. I need to use the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Oh well. There goes my date.
Right?
I mean, potential, but oh well.
I mean, I just wanted to go to a fortune teller and get Lirael and Hazel's
Compatibility.
for their astral signs. Hey, astronomy's fun, okay? But no! You had to throw the fucking big bad in there, potentially.
Yeah. And I spent the last few days just looking up flowers too.
Oh. What are 3 level 5s supposed to do against a level 11? Potentially. Anywhere between level 11 and 14.
I guess we'll get to see.
I only say this because he only shot 2 Eldritch Blasts, so he's definitely not at least 15.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember now.
Wait, Novus.
Like, how many beams did he
2.
fire? 2? 2 beams at 5, 3 beams at 11. So
Weird. Oh, maybe he did shoot 3. What's the next one?
and 4 beams at 17.
Okay, so he's anywhere between 11 and 16. Okay, so here's what Novus can cast per day. Confusion, Dancing Light, Detect Evil and Good, Detect Thoughts, Dispel Magic, Entangle, Fly, Phantasmal Force, Polymorph, and Sleep. So, keep those in mind in case we need them.
You said sleep, right?
Oh yes, she can cast Sleep.
At what level?
Dunno, it just says 1 day per.
Answer that question. She only has her first level spell slot.
Well, I didn't see anything about spell slots on Novus' sheet.
I know because I checked it before. All of this spells she can cast are at their lowest level. She can cast them even higher.
Hello?
Big set.
Whomst?
Hello?
Oh, Haze! Coming in with a rate of 5. Look at you. Thanks, Haze. Thanks, Dan. You're so sweet. Come to watch us flounder and potentially get our asses beat by the creepy shapeshifter.
Time to get murdered by a
Hi,
creepy
Dan.
shapeshifter. Hi, Dan.
Bye,
Oh,
Dan.
bye, Dan.
Bye,
You
Dan.
son of a bitch.
Well, now he won't get the chance to watch you all die to a shapeshifter.
Shut the fuck up.
Oh.
Man, that's unfortunate.
Oh, it looks like he's gonna stick around. So he still gets to watch us struggle.
Yeah, he could have come in here and just muted himself.
Yeah, Dan, you
That
can come
wasn't funny.
into the channel if you want. I'll just hide Riley. No? Okay. To the big top! I fill in... Got some things to do while watching. That's fine. I fill in Hazel as we run.
Okay. He's just like, oh, didn't expect to fight today, but
I didn't
let's do this.
either! I just wanted to go and eat bad carnival food and do an astrology reading. She looks like she's
When you
gonna...
get to the carnival, you hear screaming.
She looks like she's gonna cry.
I mean, the big top, you hear screaming.
Oh no.
Sounds like a lady's voice.
One lady or two?
Yeah.
It sounds like one. Very high pitched.
Do I recognize the voice?
Yes, you do.
It's
Well,
Marianne.
actually, no. Give me perception.
Oh, I'm going to do it too. 23.
23.
Hey!
You both recognize it. You know who it is.
Who is it?
And you don't need me to spell out who it is, do you?
It's Marianne.
Is it Mary?
It's Mary. Not
Mary.
Anne.
Oh no. Shall we?
Let's. Ladies first?
I grab Hazel's hand and run in.
All right.
Okay.
You enter the big top. You see that Mary wasn't actually who seemed to be screaming, wasn't actually screaming.
Oh, is she
She was
hitting
casting a spell. She was casting a spell.
By
She was
screaming?
casting dissonant whispers by screaming.
Oh.
Wait, dissonant whispers
By
by screaming?
I know, crazy, right?
Wait, what is she casting
Not
dissonant whispers
dissonant whispers
on?
of what's it called? Let me look at it. Let me just make sure I have this spell right.
Silent
Not
image?
because you are correct. That sounds insane. Even when I said it, I was like, wait, no, that sounds insane.
Vicious mockery?
Yeah,
It was
not
not vicious mockery. She cast Tasha's hideous laughter. She began to laugh. She wasn't screaming. She was howling and with her laughter.
Unsettling.
Infectious laughter.
Why is she... what is she casting it on?
What you look across the room from and see is Lockhart currently with a knife in his gut, and Pluto is the one putting the knife in him.
Son of a bitch!
She seems to be casting the spell on the not Pluto.
Son of a bitch! I cast Healing Word on Lockhart.
Roll initiative!
Motherfucker! Really, Darius?
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna ruin your date day like that.
Well, Lockhart's up there bleeding!
Yeah, he is. But it seems... But if you look at him a little closer, not even phased.
I still cast Healing Word on him.
Okay.
Cause
You cast Healing Word on him. Roll your Healing Word.
It's an absolute, reaction spell. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he takes the hit, and he just stares down this not Pluto.
Whew.
And this
Missed it by
not Pluto, who initially was like, oh yeah, I got him, is visibly sweating.
You done fucked up, Aaron?
He looks at you two and is like, oh shit. And let me see if he actually survives the Tasha hideous laughter.
All I do is shout, you son of a bitch!
You son of a bitch.
Oh,
man, I wish I could do
while
hidden
you're
rolls.
doing
But
that,
whatever.
I take out my phone and take a photo.
You're gonna want to take his photo in 1 sec.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wisdom save. Ooh, Lord Jesus Christ, his wisdom is stupid. Yeah, I forgot that his wisdom is stupid.
Stupid bad, or...
No, stupid good.
Well, he's a warlock.
He rolled a... He
And something
got a
else.
26.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He completely resists the hideous laughter, completely ignores it, and begins to does cast the dissonant whisper spell. Because they can both cast their own spells separately from each other. So Mary casts Tasha's hideous laughter, and casts dissonant whispers with another wisdom save for your boy.
Sure you're not just purposely picking spells that he'll easily save against?
I mean,
Ooh,
easily
nat
save against,
one.
and he got a nat 1.
I like
Yeah.
how it says not Pluto.
As opposed to
I mean-
being Pluto.
Huh? What? Hello?
Well, at this point, we know it's not Pluto, so.
Well, yeah. I mean, at least he wasn't taking on Monday's form again.
Oh, that's so old and passe.
Yeah.
The not Pluto is the new in.
I snap
Oh
a
god,
photo of the
14 points of
bullshit.
damage.
I take a photo of the bullshit going down, and then I
Take a photo of bullshit going down, and you're like, this shit's gotta be recorded.
goddamn right, because Pluto needs to know that this motherfucker used his form to attack his friend.
You see, not Pluto is visibly shaken from the dissonant whispers, but even more shaken as Lockhart goes, "Oi, you got in a good stab. You ain't getting another." He pulls out his 3 swords fly out of his hilt, begin dancing around him and attacking simultaneously.
Jesus
And as he
Christ.
does, he is very strong.
All you can hear from down on the floor is just Lirael shouting, "Fuck him up!"
Also, bring out the flaming sword as well, and as not Pluto is being attacked and shredded by these swords, he just walks up to him very calmly and stabs him in the chest. I rolled for it, and goddamn he hit. Yeah, not Pluto's not doing well.
Well, I guess I can put away my staff. She reflexively just pulled that bad boy out.
Not Pluto takes from the burning. You can hear a ungodly scream. It sounds like the mixture between a bear and a siren screeching in pain,
Does he start
like
to lose his
metal
form?
being shred. He does lose his form.
I take more photos. This is some.
His face begins to shift, and what you can see underneath. How do I describe this?
No, you know what? Fuck it. I'm taking video.
How do I describe this? The creature in front of him has no eyes, no mouth, no ears. It's like a normal human face, but without any of those features.
Ew.
Like a doll of some sort.
Like a what?
It looks like a mannequin. It has no face and has no facial features, but its face is still made of some sort of strange and near gelatinous heat. Its hands are similarly textured, though its fingers are long. And the size of this creature, as it grows to its full height, is taller than William Lockhart, taller than Pluto, even. It is
Taller
a
than
long
Riley?
creature. What?
Taller than Riley?
Yes. It is a tall and lanky creature who's got with big, ginormous hands, long fingers that stretch almost to its feet.
That's fucking gross.
It sort of it pulls the sword. It does the screech, and then it's like, "You got a good one in."
I kind of half
And
hide.
as it speaks, it like rips a mouth into its face.
Ew. I'm using
And
Hazel to
and that
stabilize the
begins to
video.
bleed.
I'm using Hazel to
Um,
stabilize the video right now. Like, cause I'm also kind of half hiding
Oh.
behind him because she's terrified.
Yeah, no, this thing is nightmare fuel.
Ew.
She begins pulling the blade out of his body, and he casts something that dispels all of the floating swords. William is now shaken and like, oh shit.
I pull my staff back out.
I
Well,
rush in and
I
attack
guess
from behind.
this didn't go as planned. Oh well, I guess I'll try something else. See you around.
What did you say,
And
Darius?
he begins making his exit
Oh,
as he basically smashes through the tent and leaves.
well, we rushed in. Like I said while you were talking that I rushed in to
Mhm.
attack from behind.
Okay, make your attacks.
Ooh.
This thing has now shown its true face,
Ew.
or at least some of its true face.
What can I do?
24 to hit.
24 to hit. That hits.
Okay. In addition to that, I'm also using what was it? Thunder Smite.
Yep.
So let me roll the normal damage first.
Okay.
And then he needs to make a DC. One second. I deal an extra 2d6. And then he needs to make a DC.
Is Thunder Smite a spell?
Yeah.
He casts counterspell.
It's bonus. It's
But you
smite.
can counterspell any spell,
It's
even a smite.
though.
You can counterspell a smite because it's still an additive onto something that you're using. So as long as you can see it, you can counterspell. Basically, it's a spell. As long as it's a spell, someone can counterspell it. So you counterspell it. He can still use his reaction from getting hit by William, and after transforming. So no smite. It's still 18 points of damage, though.
You said it ripped a hole into the tent, right?
Before that, you slashed it. You also have, what's it called? You would have attack of opportunity against this creature if it moved. And now that you're standing in its way, it's kind of like, it looks down at you. The dead one. Disgusting creature.
Look who's
Remove
talking.
yourself. It's talking to you.
I'm gonna get a shot in.
Pluto. You already used your action to heal.
What?
It's gonna cast mental prison on you. Roll an intelligence save.
Then I'm gonna do a bonus action.
Jihn, roll intelligence.
Intelligence save or intelligence?
Save.
Oh no,
Nope.
Jihn.
You feel your mind begin to compress as it feels like there are walls being put around you. You stop moving, you drop to your knees, and you just stare at the ground.
Okay. It's not sleep, right? Or not putting me
No, it's mental prison.
It's basically what he did to Hans earlier. You're gonna have some new scars that I'm gonna have to add to your portrait.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to take a bonus action, and by that I mean I'm casting twin spell. No, not twin spell. Quicken spell.
And then that was its action. It still has a bonus action, so we could do that. What are you doing?
Chromatic orb.
Gotcha.
And then it's going to be... Oh, fuck. What damage do I want it to be? I don't even know if this thing has resistances. Right? Can't go wrong with acid. Nat 20.
18 points of damage.
So what happens
First,
is...
so
Wait.
here's what happens in order. Because I want to do it. I want to make sure
hold
it's
on.
all in order.
Well, first, I push past and step in front of Hazel and immediately I burn sorcery points to cast this orb.
Okay, that's fine. I want to make sure I do this in order. So, when you entered the room, Hazel, Lirael, and Jihn, you three enter the room. You immediately see that the screaming is actually a howling laughter from Mary, who is trying to cast a laughter on the not Pluto. You see Anne then cast a dissonant whisper over the and it does actually affect this creature. You see, what's it called?
Lockhart?
You see Lockhart stabbed by the knife. Lockhart takes out his weapons, has his floating weapons attack this creature, and then stabs the creature. The creature then changes his form, dispels those weapons, removes the sword from himself, and then takes a slash from Jihn. As he turns to look at Jihn, he gets hit by a chromatic orb as well. Before he takes his action to cast a mental prison on Jihn, dropping him to the floor. He then takes a charge out of the tent.
Oh, you son of a bitch. First, I'm gonna run over to Jihn. Is there anything I can do for him?
Jihn is still trapped in a mental prison. Also, I have to roll damage, because I always forget to roll damage on mental prison.
Of course.
Let me do this first.
It's a failed save, so you take
Never mind.
40 points of psychic damage. How many hit points do you have?
1 second. I have 64.
Okay, you took 40 points of psychic damage, and you are unconscious.
Well, I mean, he's...
Wait.
From the spell,
Well,
he's unconscious.
You are unconscious from the spell. That's how it works. And while you're trapped in a mental prison, every turn, while you're still within the mental prison, you get to make the save again. If you fail the save, you are taking another couple of D10 worth of damage.
Hans didn't
if you
do
succeed
that.
the save, you take half the damage.
I don't remember Hans making these rolls.
That's because he succeeded almost immediately after. Because it's a concentration spell, he dropped the concentration.
Alright, so when I run over to Jihn, the first thing I'm gonna do is cure wounds. Shit, that's not that much.
7 points healing. Lockhart, however, has a spell of his own. Dispel Magic. He casts it on Jihn.
Oh, good.
And that removes the effects of the mental prison.
Next thing I do is make sure Mr. Lockhart is okay. I go over to him, too. Can't hear you.
Thanks for the save, lass. And you too.
I'm so sorry. We didn't... Oh my god, we talked to him for like 5 minutes and we didn't even realize it wasn't Professor Pluto. I'm so sorry. We figured it out because of your unicorn. She sensed evil, and it was close, and then it started to go away. And, well, I'm gonna brain noodle all the information about the shapeshifter I know to him, and then I realize he must somehow know that we were supposed to be contacting you to get a ship to get to Navarra, which only tells me that that's the right direction to go, because if it wasn't, he wouldn't have tried to murder you. She looks like she's
didn't try to murder me, lass. He wanted something from me.
What did he want? Information?
Don't worry. He can't get it. Not something he can ever find.
I mean, it'd only be helpful to know what it is. I need to report to Professor Pluto anyway. I took video.
You see coming through the tent. Needed to talk to me about what? What's going on?
Quick, Jihn! Cast Detect Good and Evil. No, 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 you know
you
what?
see, wait, actually, before that, because Hazel hasn't done anything for this. Athletics check, athletics check.
Why is he doing an athletics check?
Reasons.
Not 20.
You have got to be fucking kidding me. Do I want to? No. No, I can't unlock a nat 20. That's just not fair.
No, it's not. Oh no, what's he going to do? Oh no.
Hazel tackles Pluto to the ground.
Oh. Yeah, I've seen that move
He's
before.
just like, I got him!
I run over. Novus, cast Detect Good and Evil.
Sure. She cast Detect Good and Evil.
What's
he's not evil.
Oh, thank God. No
Would
evil.
someone please explain what the hell is going on?
Okay, I grab Hazel by the shoulders and tell him it's okay. It's actually Pluto.
I'm sitting up with my hand on my head, like looks like I have a massive headache, and we met your doppelganger. It kicked my ass.
He tried
I think.
He was trying to get something from Lockhart and he stabbed him in the gut. And then I threw acid at him and Jihn stabbed him. Lockhart stabbed him and we caught this, and I show him the video of it showing its disgusting actual form.
When you look at the video, its form doesn't show up properly. It's distorted.
That's
every single
weird.
shot with it in it, it's distorted.
That's fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
So then I will take the time to describe what I saw to Pluto. And I make a crude drawing. With like a stick in the dirt.
Drawing you saw? He's like, your drawing skills are getting better.
Oh, thank you, Professor. Then she draws a little, cause... Wait, what? Darius, I didn't hear anything after your drawing skills are getting better.
He says your drawing skills are getting better.
What?
No, it's not.
What?
He whispers, no, it's not, to Hazel.
That's rude.
We'll kind of give some affirmation, like, yeah.
I punch Hazel. Did you hear that, Darius?
Yeah, you punch Hazel. You deal 0 damage.
I give him a pouty look.
He gives you a hug.
Don't think you can just cute your way out of this.
Well, I can try. Marianne walks over to you, Jihn, and Mary begins casting Healing Word.
I give Jihn another. Yeah, I give Jihn a third round of Healing Word. By our powers combined, you won't look like shit.
Might be unnecessary, because this girl's got some real good healing.
Well, I already cast it, so... Another nat 20 on that save!
Just make sure I'm doing the right things. They're gonna cast these and one of these.
So 34, 38 points total, plus the 7 I also healed, so 45 points total. You should be completely back up.
Yep, I'm back up.
Hey. They both grabs your arm and casts Cure Wounds, and Mary stings and casts Healing Word.
Thanks, ladies. Didn't think I'd be meeting you like this, but thanks.
He puts his hand on their shoulders and goes, "Hey."
Well, thanks for saving our dad. So that's. Yeah, thanks for that.
You're welcome.
I rummage through my bag and I take out 2 ruined freesia flowers, one red and one blue. These were supposed to be for you. Unfortunately, they were ruined.
Give me persuasion with advantage.
I would hope so. Nice. Nice.
They both look at each other. They both look at you. They grab the flowers. Each of them puts them on each other's shirts, and they both kiss you on the cheek.
Aww.
Thank you.
And anytime. I have like a shit-eating grin, but I'm still like dazed.
As you should be. You're gonna have nightmares forever.
What color are his scars running down from his face?
It's the same color as before. Purple scar. The scars show up when they immediately attack as purple. Also, while you were trapped in the mental prison, you were living your worst night.
And what would that be? Because I don't have any memory of what my greatest fear is.
Because you don't have any memory of what your greatest fear is. Your greatest fear while dealing with this creature is a hall of waxwork. A hall of waxwork. But these waxworks and these mannequins aren't just normal mannequins. Now, you can sense every time that they're moving, shifting as you turn away from them. You turn back. They look like they're in a different position, getting closer and closer. Some of them have that same uncanny face, the same face that the not Pluto had as they get closer. But that's not what gets you. What gets you are the fingers, those long, disturbing fingers that climb your chest from inside.
The call was coming from inside the house!
And in a moment, you see this creature bearing down on you as it looks you in the eye and takes your face.
Nameless, you will find that anytime that the DM does something horrible to us, he will sound very happy, to be completely honest.
What?
You cut out there.
I said, to reply to Nameless Devil, that anytime the DM does something horrible to us, it will sound like he's doing the funnest thing in the universe.
It is the funnest thing in the universe for me. The players, that is the right of every team.
I can't hear you, Darius.
Just let Nameless know that every DM has to work to traumatize their players.
Anthony
Part
doesn't.
Of our job. It's in the description.
Anthony doesn't.
Well, he's a different DM than I am. My job is to traumatize you.
Then you can't say every DM. Then can you, darling?
Fine. Then I feel it is my job as a DM to try to traumatize you as much as humanly possible. And telling you about how your face gets torn off by an uncanny creature, yeah, that's pretty traumatizing.
Going in the poo-poo DM bin.
Wow, that hurts my feelings. At least supplement it with good characters.
God, the characters in World are absolutely fucking phenomenal, but you go in the poo-poo bin for trying to make your players sad.
I don't want to make my players sad. I feel like it's right when I make my players sad.
Thought you wanted your players to have fun, not hurt your players' feelings.
I want them to have fun, but I want them to have fun while watching their own characters get tormented. Fun for everyone.
No.
Anyway, Lockhart sort of catches his breath, I'm gonna need a circus-wide van hunt on this thing. It can change shapes.
It knows things that it
Need to
really
get the
shouldn't.
unicorn.
Yeah, take the unicorn with you, just
Keep her
on the safe
safe.
side.
I don't know if it knows that unicorns can sense evil, but it needs to be protected. She's very scared.
It's very hard to scare most unicorns, so this thing must not be great to deal with.
I spoke to a unicorn. That's how I know.
Ah. Well, good for you, lass.
I go and I help Hazel off of Pluto. You can try that on me later if you want.
Galley, horny
What?
jail.
No! I start banging my cup against the bars. Attica! Attica! Never. Never again.
So, does anyone want to explain to me what just happened? Because I walk in here and then get attacked by Hazel, and all of you look worse for wear.
I just showed him the video.
We met your doppelganger.
It was
Hopefully we don't have bad luck for the rest of our lives.
it was trying to get something from
Cal, another interesting thing you noticed, not just when it was in its true form, when it was pretending to be Pluto, it didn't record properly. It got distorted.
Well, that's going to be helpful. I pass that information on to Pluto. That when it's being recorded, even if it's hidden, it gets distorted.
It distorts
So
images.
yes, it count. I don't know if it's from this plane. I mean, I don't think I've ever had any trouble recording anything before, but it stabbed your friend and wanted to get something from him, but he's not
He
very...
walks over to Lockhart and casts a Cure Wounds on Lockhart as well.
So, Professor Pluto, that means it knew our plan. The one that you discussed with us in class.
I'm not sure who I want my plan. Mind reading ability somehow. But I don't think I've been in contact with it.
I just don't understand who it could have... If it was mind reading, I don't know who it could have read from beforehand, because the only person I've interacted with today was Jihn, and he came here already disguised as you, preemptively to see Lockhart.
He could have possibly been around some of the other class members.
What if he was in the class?
Could be. Can't put it past it. Whatever it is, it's... Yep. It's high up on our priority list if we can finally take it down. I'd say don't engage if you don't have to. Yeah, this is a tragedy. I'm sorry that this had to happen to you guys. I assume that you're here to just hang out at the circus and your day off and everything. Sorry for that.
It's fine, Professor Pluto. Oh, It just really kind of fooled us. I even told it we knew your actual name, and it said not to tell anyone, 'cause you don't go by that anymore. It was so hard to not catch it as not you.
How does it do the thing it does?
You don't want me to tell anyone your actual name, do you?
I mean, I prefer you not call me by my real name, but I don't mind.
Oh, see, well, that's where it differs a little. It told me to never tell anyone.
Maybe it didn't know what my real name.
Maybe its information isn't completely perfect.
It might be fallible in what it knows. It knows so much.
Or what if it can be fooled with, like, false information or false thought? I mean, the mind itself is a fallible thing. The mind itself makes up things when you can't remember properly.
So maybe lies are how we beat this thing. It can't differentiate between a lie and the truth. So it
Especially
wouldn't
if
know
you...
that I have another name.
Especially if you truly think that it is the right thing that actually happened. Like, perhaps you think that let's take my brother, for example. Perhaps I think my brother actually has blue hair. If it takes that form and has blue hair, I know it's definitely not him. The prat.
I'm standing next to Hazel, and I whisper to him, "Do you understand what they're talking about?"
Are you getting any of this?
No.
We're in the same boat. At least I'm not alone on this.
And I try and fist bump him, like, yeah, you're not alone, man. Yeah.
I side-eye the two of them. And then I just go back to talking to Pluto.
So, it seems that this creature can't deal with falsehood.
I wonder if you could overload it by having everyone think of something slightly different.
I don't know. I don't know if that would really do much of anything to it.
Well, then
It just
how
seems
could
like
it know
doesn't...
how would it know which is the real memory? That's the thing.
But how would you overload it since, I mean, it just walked through a circus?
No. If it's trying to read for information, if everyone's thinking something different, it's not going to be able to pinpoint what's actually real.
Yeah, but it will take the form of the lie instead of the truth. Thus, it'll make it easier for us to catch it.
Yeah, but how do you know when it's reading your mind, though?
If you don't, then that's the worst part. You don't know if it's taking a form that you would know either.
The best way to do it right now is to try and record it. Look at it through your phone. If it's distorted, you know you're dealing with something that's not what you think it is. And then, if you have important information, try not to think about it in, like, the proper context. Keep it...
Are you asking us to not think of something?
Well, I know for some of us that's a strong point.
So, Lockhart, why did it come after you? We can have that conversation in private, lad. I don't think we need to involve all the children.
Well, I think we're already involved.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And I don't wish to see you involved more than this. Right now, thanks for your help, and I would consider that you all have free to go where you like in the carnival. Please enjoy yourselves for the rest of the day. This is, like Pluto said, your day off. You should be relaxing, not dealing with this.
I turn to Mary and Anne. So, ladies, could you show me around the circus again? I didn't really see much yesterday.
Yeah, we can show you around the circus. We'd love to.
Oh, Anne.
I just turn them away and just to try and distract them from any. Do they seem like concerned or worried or anything about it?
Very concerned. You can read some concern. The concern shows on Anne's face the most, but Mary seems to be trying to cheer her up. But if you look at Mary, she is also a little concerned. It seems like she might be pretending to be very jovial about things, but she's, you know.
Yeah.
kind
So
of thing.
okay. So ladies, let's So where do you? Oh. So there's this unicorn up in the petting zoo. Have you guys seen that yet? I try like
Oh,
as I'm
yes.
bring them out.
Arthur is the one who handles the unicorn.
Oh, is that what his name is?
Yes.
I feel bad for not asking, but we kind of got the bad news and just ran right here after I spoke to it. Well, Nova spoke to it too.
Well, thankful that you did. Otherwise, we might have been shish kebab.
Oh, Novus, would you like to say hello? They can speak Sylvan as well, I'm sure.
That's what you think. No, they can speak.
I was gonna say they're half elves. I just want to give
Hey,
Novus.
not all half elves can speak Sylvan.
I just want to give Novus.
In fact, now that I look at it, they can't speak Sylvan.
Oh.
Yeah, I looked at the character sheet for a second. Oh wait, no, they don't speak Sylvan. Shit.
It's not like everyone can speak Sylvan.
I thought it was a common half elf thing, because Fey
Nope.
ancestry.
Nope.
Well, they grew up in the circus, so it's not like they would. It's not exactly like they would learn that specific language. They could just learn anything else.
Well, I mean,
They
I figured
know-
some languages were internal, sort of like Hazel's Abyssal.
Sylvan is not, because there are still Sylvan creatures that don't know Sylvan. And there are Abyssal creatures that don't know Abyssal. It comes for some creatures, but not all. And if you're a creature that, and if you're a creature that spends most of its life, traveling and seeing new places and not really getting to experience Sylvan, then yeah, no. Not a language it learned.
Well,
that they learned.
I'll see if Novus wants to stay out or go back in the bag, because she's still hanging around.
I'm gonna stay in the...
You want to go back in the bag? I've got some more good berries in there.
Dives into the bag.
Before I close it, I go, I'm so sorry you had to see that.
Creepy.
Okay, have a good rest. Ugh.
Okay, so I'm gonna direct the girls out, and we're just gonna spend some time around the circus trying to calm down and what's the term?
Relax.
Yeah,
Hopefully relax.
Yeah, relax and unwind.
You see that Pluto and Lockhart go into a back room, and as you guys leave, I close the door behind them.
They'll tell us, or he'll tell us when we need to know. For now, let's just relax and forget a little.
Where are you guys going next?
I'm just gonna wander around with the girls, just to unwind, relax, and decompress, I guess, from the.
Is there any where specific you want to go right now? Yeah, if there's anywhere specific you guys want to go, okay. The places that you can go. The waxworks, there's the ponies, there's games, there's the retro carousel, there's some food stands, there's the strong woman show.
I asked the girls, have you guys gone through the waxworks?
Are you sure you actually want to go in there after your...
Give me insight.
Who, me?
Jihn.
25.
You see that Mary does not like the on her face. She does not like the waxworks, and waxworks. She thinks they're cool.
Damn. I'm just really interested to see what they have in there. So can we just pop in real quick? I just want to take a look, and we can just head on somewhere else after.
Yeah. Come on, Mary. We can go in there. Yeah, sure, Anne. We can do that.
Wait, which one? Which one liked it? Which one didn't? Again?
Anne liked it. Mary didn't.
Anne is the one with blue hair. Mary's the one with red hair. Anne is the one who likes it. Mary is the one who doesn't. Okay. Anne likes scary things.
Mary likes happy things.
Yeah.
Okay. And wait, the waxworks is a scary thing?
They are kind of creepy.
Yeah, it can be considered scary.
Yeah, I get that. It's just like I didn't think like scary. I didn't think like creepy. But okay.
Cal, you going in with us?
Hanging
out for a double date?
Hazel, where do you want to go?
We can go wherever.
Are you interested in seeing some creepy wax things? Did I cut out again?
Sure.
Huh?
Do you want to go see some creepy waxworks?
Oh, darling.
we can go in at least. I can be brave enough to poke my head.
Oh, darling. It's okay. We can go somewhere else.
No, it's fine. Let's go.
All right then.
Just hold my hand, okay?
Oh, I grab his arm.
Just so we could be safe.
I grab his whole arm.
Do you collapse from a nervous breakdown? Oh,
What?
Jihn, when you get inside, don't worry, I already had this part planned. When you get inside,
anything until inside.
Yeah, I was gonna wait until you were inside. You guys get inside. You don't immediately see any waxworks. It gives you like the history of waxworks and stuff like that, and like waits until you get and like gives you some more information about how they made the waxworks and other such stuff like that. When you finally get into the hall of waxworks, you can see dozens upon dozens of different figures, some heroes, fighting villains, waxwork tigers attacking, commanders who, have their gun pointed at it. People scavenging and fighting for the new world. Battles between what looks to be a man carrying a holy symbol versus a group of what's it called? Of peoples of different races and creeds battling some men wearing very holy symbols.
This is the fucking Crusades.
I'm gonna, Jihn, give me wisdom saving. I'm also gonna have Hazel give me a wisdom saving.
Oh, my sweet boy.
Oh, god damn it.
Oh, he didn't do much better.
Oh, god damn it.
Welp.
You get in, you don't even have a moment of Manchismo. You step in, see waxworks, you have a visible panic attack. You get on the ground, begin crying uncontrollably, and curl into a ball.
I also suddenly have like this itching sensation in my chest and feel like something is trying to crawl out of it.
You're like scratching at you're like putting your hands under your shirt to like check your chest to see if there's something there, to make sure that nothing's crawling out of you. But you have
Yeah.
a full panic attack.
I immediately go to Jihn at first because it's very
Oh
concerning.
yeah, no. And Hazel does better. We should have, but he does just enough to be like, okay, this is fucking terrifying. I fucking hate everything in here.
Oh my! I don't think I hear you. I don't hear you swear
He
very
doesn't
much.
curse. He doesn't curse.
Oh no, he
But,
curses.
that's what he's. That's basically what's in his brain right
No,
now.
you said it out loud. I heard him cuss. It's great.
Okay.
I dig it.
All right. He curses.
Lirael
Fuck
absolutely
this place.
digs it.
Fuck this place. He's like, okay, wax museum. Great, we've seen it. The tour actually continues further into the wax museum itself.
I go check on Jihn.
Okay.
I tell Hazel 1 moment. We'll leave in a sec, and I go check on Jihn.
Can I get everyone's passive perception?
Sure. My passive perception is 16. Not great,
so
but
it's
not
mine.
worse.
What's yours,
His is the same as mine, 16.
Okay, interesting. Very interesting.
Why?
Reasons.
Did we notice something?
No,
Oh.
neither of you, none of you, in fact, notice anything.
I shake
However, Lirael does notice something for a moment. You begin to hear coming from in your head.
Jihn. What?
You hear a song playing.
Do I recognize it?
Maybe not in your head. No. It's not in your head. It's somewhere in the room.